All right, welcome. We are going to discuss our graph of the week for week 19. Okay, and I'm in my fourth period class, and we're going to discuss this together. So, if I am looking here at this graph, see if I can. Don't mess it up, Mrs. Golding. The first chart is about vaccinations. Okay, this is for COVID-19, right? And we were talking about it as a class, so I thought, why not just go here? So this, my x-axis right here, right, is telling me the different tiers. So you've heard it in the news. They talk about tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The first tier is people who are deployed personnel. What does that mean, deployed?
Army.
Nathan?
Military.
Military, yeah. They're
Good
deployed
job.
in the military. So they are in that first group. Hopefully they've gotten it already or they're getting it. Public health personnel. Nathan, has your mom received her vaccine? Or it's been offered to her?
Yeah.
It's been offered, okay? So, and I'm not saying everyone in these groups are taking it, but it's being offered. Critical health care, so, pretty much everybody in healthcare. Pharmacists, pharmacy techs, EMS, what does that stand for? Emergency Management System.
It's like firefighters, the ambulance drivers.
There you go. Very good.
Good
job.
Exactly. So even the drug manufacturers are getting it. So also pregnant women, infants, and toddlers. So those are in that first tier. Now that's about 26 million people that it's being offered to. Now then the next tier, you get this is essential military support personnel. So deployed means they went somewhere, right, to serve in a different location, right? But if military that's here, that's supporting, that's in tier 2, National Guard. So your social studies teacher last year, Payne, National Guard, right? Intelligence services like FBI, CIA, National Security. Look at this one, mortuary services. Yeah, people that embalm bodies. So that's important.
Oh, that's so scary. I could
Yeah.
never do that.
Yeah, if I work in a funeral home.
I could never work
Yeah.
in a funeral home.
So-
yeah, why would imagine putting makeup on a dead body?
On a
Yeah.
dead body. Oh my
So-
God, what is that?
So this is high-risk children. So high-risk children would be if they have underlying conditions or if they have autism, some other different.
Wait, would my brother count? Because he has autism, but he's on the spectrum, but he's not autistic.
That's my understanding, and I guess it's up to the doctor. I don't really know, but I think so. So looking here, where do you fall in these tiers?
Who knows? None of them.
So healthy children, tier 3.
I'm
Right.
not a child.
They consider a child under 18.
I'm not.
So-
I'm not 18 then.
Tier 3. Now there's 68 million people that fall there. What is the greatest number of people?
132.
That's this one, right? That's the healthy adults, 19 to 64. So really, you can kind of see they're last. The most people are in the last tier.
They put healthy adults, but since when is an adult only
Healthy.
19 and not 18?
Right? So this is about 18 and under. Maybe it's kind of it's a fuzzy zone, right?
That is true. Because
That's true, 'cause,
like
Like whenever someone is like literally we had the guy said with the Mr. Freeway sub or whatever, he gets his son's stimulus check, but when he's 18 he doesn't.
Yeah, right.
Actually, he's 19.
So when you're talking about this, some of you are still struggling when you go to write. You're just going to write like we were talking. So you're talking about this first graph, and you're just going to say what it's talking about. You can point out what you wonder. Well, Nathan wonders, why are adults considered 19 and not 18? So you can even write about that in your response. Like, I wonder why, or Brody's question. I wonder if my brother fits into tier 2, or if he's in tier 3. And then you can talk about your brother, right? So these are things where you're taking data, you're looking at it, and you're kind of trying to make some sense out of it, right? What does it mean to you, actually? So,
2 cousins that would go into tier 2.
yeah, and you could talk about your brother who's in the military, right? And so he's in tier 2, but if he becomes deployed, he would have been in tier 1, right? So you can kind of talk about those
He
things
still has like 2 years till he's gonna get deployed. He still has to go through the
through all of his training. Okay, so this next,
Lincoln.
What?
Lincoln minute.
Lincoln. Hi, Lincoln. So this next graph.
I'll be right back. I need to take my pills.
Oh, I'm glad that you came on. Okay, this one is talking about people, Americans who are unwilling to get the vaccine. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because a lot of you said, I don't want that vaccine, right? And so this is the,
Right, because it gives you that whatchamacallit.
so the fine print here says this is a share of U.S. adults, okay, so they didn't pull people under 18,
They don't need to.
willing to get an FDA-approved, no-cost vaccine for COVID-19, right? Now, first of all, when you read this, it's important to be a good consumer of data. The person who made this, based on what they wrote right here, do you think that they believe everyone should be vaccinated?
Jezreel,
Yes.
Because they're saying what?
Jezreel.
FDA-approved, no-cost vaccine, right? So, hi, Jezreel.
To be honest, the vaccine doesn't even work 100%, like all the time. And the thing is, they're starting to cut the vaccine in half because they don't have enough money to make it for everyone.
Those are the things that you can talk about in your response, okay? You're like, I read in the paper,
I be listening
or
about this
I
kind of
heard
stuff
in the
because it's
news,
important.
right? Or somebody told me this, right?
Anything
These are
else, I don't care about, but this is serious.
these are the kind of things you can talk about, okay? Now, here's some of the data. Of all Americans, 65% say, are they saying they are willing or unwilling?
Isn't that willing?
Unwilling.
Yes, they are.
This is where this chart is a little confusing. A third of Americans unwilling to get COVID-19. Now, but wait. But look what it says. Share of U.S. adults willing to get an FDA approved. So I feel like this graph is a little misleading, because up here it says unwilling, but really this is willing, okay? That's what these are saying. So I feel like whoever made this did a bad job. And you can say that when you're responding,
They
okay?
surely did.
So of all Americans, 65% are willing, 35% are unwilling. That would be the third, right? Okay, of those people, right, of those people, 81% of Democrats are willing to get the vaccine. 19% are unwilling, okay? Independents
Doesn't matter.
and Republicans. That's what I want you to say in your
Wait,
response.
what'd he say? What'd he say?
I wonder why it even matters what their political affiliation is, right? And then why would this chart point this out? Do you have any ideas? Like, what do you think? Maybe you've heard certain things. Maybe the information you get on the news. Do you realize that some news channels lean one side politically and others lean other directions politically, right? And so depending on where we're getting our news, we're getting different information. That's important to know, okay? Down here, if you look at age, 18 to 29-year-olds, so of the youngest group of people, 76% of young people, 18 to 29, say, yeah, I'm going to get it.
Oh, they tweaking.
And people who are
Oh my God.
65 and older, they're
Maybe one
also,
of them, but no.
Why would
Willing.
they do that? They're already,
They're really
they're
old. Why can't they
old.
just, like, die?
They're gonna die, bro. What the heck?
I don't think
is wrong?
everyone just wants to die.
Bro, they're gonna die.
Literally, like by the time they would have gotten COVID, it's possible that they could die.
Right.
I
so
hope 2021 is better.
those are the kind of things you can write in your response. I think you guys feel limited to what you can write. Farian, there is no limit to what you can write. And I'm not going to be offended by your opinions, because your opinions are safe, okay? And the things that you want to talk about are safe. So in your response, it's just looking at data,
To be honest,
wondering about it, and then making some statements
I do,
about
that's
it,
so
right?
Scary.
I just don't care
Okay.
about this stuff. I know stuff about it, but I don't really care about it.
Right?
I know stuff about it, but
Even a global
that's kind
Yeah.
of scary. Well, I don't want to take no shot and risk my life.
I've only
Now-
known
That's
I've only
crazy,
known
bro.
one person that's gotten COVID, and I haven't got COVID.
Right? And you can write about that. You can say,
My family
I,
had COVID, but we, it was just like.
And my stepdad nowadays.
you can talk about that, Brody, in your response. And Nathan, you can say, I don't even feel the relevance in all of this. You can talk about that. The other thing I want you to always be willing to look at is if you see tiny fine print at the bottom, this particular chart, it tells you the data when it was collected. July 20th to August 2nd, 2020. So this is a little dated, right? So this is before they had released the vaccine. And so they were saying, they were asking people preemptively, right?
So I bet you it's changed now.
That's what I want you to say. So things like that, you can say, I
That's scary.
bet things have changed, or I wonder if these people
That's
feel the
scary.
same way, right? So do you
These comments are
feel
like non-breakable.
more comfortable talking about
I feel very comfortable.
graph?
She's a
7 sentences, and literally we talked about it way more than 7 sentences we talked about. This is
I should have
not
been typing.
this is not some terrible thing you have to do. Okay?
Cause I'm gonna forget all this.
Don't, but now you have a video that you can refer back to, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, since you helped me out, I want you to all say goodbye to the video.
Can I get the camera?
Nope, can't get on the camera.
Dang.
Uh,
Bye.
Everybody say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.